up, YouTube? It's your brother YT. Wake 'em up, back at it again with another video. Listen, let's talk about the Texas housing market. It's looking like it's up for collapse. No homes are selling no more. Remember, when people were overbidding, people were overpaying, they wasn't even looking at the houses. They were just like, yeah, I want it. Just because competition was so large, it was so much comp, people was just ready to get a house no matter the condition. They weren't even doing inspections. Some people bought houses with black mold. That's a no-no. But hey, that was the state of the real estate. But not no more. It's not the same no more. People like, hold up, wait. Let me wait. I don't think it's time to buy. Family, you already know what to do. And if you're brand new too, thumbs up this video so YouTube can push this content out. Smash subscribe to join the tribe. And ring the post notification bell as well. All right, this is going to be a quick one. Let's get into it.
So I'm looking at homes for sale in Houston, Texas, just out of curiosity. I like to see what's going on in other markets. And I was like, this is way too many homes for sale. My phone is glitching. I can't see what's going on. So I filtered by houses only, and it made no difference. There are so many houses for sale. Is Texas going through a housing market crash right now? This doesn't seem normal. Check the total available listings in Texas, and there are over 170,000 homes for sale. I think Texas might be going through a housing market crash. If I check the number of homes with a price drop, it's 35%. Now, it hasn't been the highest in the last few years. As you can see, in 2022, there were almost 40% of homes getting price cuts. However, price and price reductions are a very delayed statistic when talking about a housing crash. This is where inventory was when 40% of homes were having price cuts. Now there are 35% of homes having price cuts, and inventory is all the way up here. So there has been an increase in almost 60,000 homes available for sale in the state of Texas. If you look at the median sales price, it hasn't really done too much since 2022, but keep in mind, this is a very lagging indicator. Inventory is a leading indicator. If buyers aren't in control of the housing market in Texas already, they're going to be very soon, as inventory is sky high. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. If you're a realtor in any part of Texas, let me know what's going on, if there is a housing crash or correction around the corner, and follow me for more.
Here's Joe from Georgia. So it does appear that the state of Texas is getting ready to have a housing crisis, and it's a housing crisis where there's too many homes on the market. And what it's doing is it's going to be driving down the prices of those homes. And also, the people who were coming to Texas in droves, they were growing quicker than ever. Well, that trend has stopped. People aren't moving to Texas the way they were. Texas and Florida has a lot in common right now with the number of homes that are on the market and the number of buyers who aren't there anymore because they're not moving to those states. And it's happening right now. So the folks who came in the last few years and paid exorbitant prices for homes in Texas are now losing their value, and they're having a problem selling those homes with an oversupply of inventory on the market. So Texas, welcome to the party of you and Florida. It's going to be very interesting to see how it all works out in the housing market.
Yeah, because all the Floridians are vacating their properties. They leaving the state. I'm seeing Floridians in Michigan, where I'm from, seeing Floridians all over the place, really. They're moving. It's like the Great Migration. They're leaving where they're from and going elsewhere. They're going where opportunity is vast. They're going where the housing market is a little more stable, a little better. They're going where they can get a house for a decent price. In comparison, like, none of these houses are priced fairly. They're all overpriced right now. This is a seller's market, not a buyer's market. But they are going outside of Florida to get better deals.
Whoa! Whoa. What's going on in Texas? I'll tell you what's going on in Texas. I've been telling you for 2 years what's going on in Texas. And yeah, it's facing a huge market correction because there is over 125,000 homes for sale in Texas right now. Inventory is absolutely soaring. And the people that were pouring into Texas, yeah, they're not doing that anymore. Yeah, they're finding that living in Texas, it's not that much fun. Yeah, the reason for that, there's a lot better places to live in this country than Texas. Yeah. And it doesn't take people really long to figure that out. So what exactly is going on? Inventory is soaring and now prices are falling all throughout Texas. Austin, Texas, down. San Antonio, Texas, down. Dallas, Texas, down. Houston, Texas, down big time. Yeah, Texas is in big trouble. Texas real estate, what's it going to be like this year, next year, and the next year? Down, down, and down. Like and follow for more. We'll be talking about it all year.
125,000 homes, like you said. That's a lot of homes on the market. It's a lot of comp. Before there was a lack of inventory. There was no inventory. Now it's a lot of inventory and not so many buyers. Not so many people are looking. I think more people probably renting right now than buying. Apartments are getting rented up pretty fast, but actually those that are interested in home ownership, I think people waiting. They don't know what the market's hold right now. And when I say that, I mean like they don't know what the future entails and they don't want to make this major purchase like a home, not knowing how interest rates are going to play out, not knowing if they're even investing into an area that'll appreciate. Because when the market is at the top, it got to come down.
All right, guys, so what is happening with this real estate market? Because it is weird right now. I just got done with an update for one of our sellers. I look like I have a halo. I'm okay with that. And one of our sellers for their weekly update that we did, and the numbers are just really interesting and weird right now, so I figured I would shoot a quick video and share it with you in case you were interested. This is Weatherford, so Parker County. I just have these in front of me. I can shoot a Fort Worth one if you're interested in Fort Worth. But Weatherford itself, last month to this month, it went up from 544 listings up to 591 listings. What does that mean as a seller? More competition. More people are already thinking about getting on the market to offload these properties before prices keep dropping. What does it mean for buyers? More houses to choose from. So we're between 15 to 30% more year on year for Weatherford and Fort Worth. So Weatherford's seeing about 15% more listings. Fort Worth seeing close to 30% more listings coming on the market. Closings wise, which is the most important number, is when it actually sells. We were 109 last month for Weatherford and 103 closed homes in April for Weatherford. So a drop of 6 less homes month on month. From 15% to 43% less closings. So 15% Weatherford less closings year on year, 43% less closed sold homes in Fort Worth. Showings wise, because of course we want to kind of gauge, like if you have a house on the market, are you having enough showings? Are you ahead of the curve? Are you behind the curve? Are you having too many showings and not enough offers? Are you not having enough showings compared to everybody else? This is a key KPI to watch. Weatherford is 26% and Fort Worth is 32% less than last year. So that means there are less active buyers looking at homes before they go under contract and sell. So in March, we had an average of 2.8 showings per listing that sold. In April, we had 2.3. So 2.8 down to 2.3. So less buyers actively touring the homes before they pick one to put a contract on. So what does that mean? That means if you do get a showing it doesn't offer and they don't offer, that's a sign that there's a discrepancy either in the location, the condition, or the price. That's the only 3 things it comes down to. It doesn't matter what color drapes you've got down there. It just is a case of they found a discrepancy in one of the key three things, okay? So monthly inventory, this is where if we have like a 6-month inventory, we're neutral. If we have more than 6 months of inventory, meaning if no more homes came on the market today, from here out, how long till we run out of houses for sale? Right now, we're at about 6.2 months. Last month March for Weatherford area, we were at 5.5. So it's gone up from 5.5 months of inventory up to 6.2 months of inventory. Weatherford's 20% more year on year. Fort Worth is 34% more year on year. Okay, that's a big jump of inventory. It's a great sign for buyers because you have absolutely way more choices available for sale. It's not such a great sign on the home selling side because you have more competition. So if you're thinking about selling, you're better off pulling the trigger on it sooner rather than later so that you don't miss the boat on it. Concessions is a huge one right now. We are seeing for Weatherford, I just did the 60-day report of what's sold in the last 60 days to kind of get an idea and an average. We had 207 homes sell in Weatherford in the last 60 days. 54 of them sold with over $5,000 in concessions. That's 27% of the sold homes here in Weatherford that sold giving more than $5,000 worth of concessions, meaning seller paid closing costs. Now, there was still more homes that sold with concessions that were under $5,000, but I was primarily, for this particular seller, looking at $5,000 or more. So 27% is a pretty good chunk. So sellers, be ready to offer that. If you're a homeowner and you're on the market right now and your agent hasn't talked to you about that, that's a conversation you need to know about. If you're a buyer right now, that's absolutely something you need to know about, because that's money on the table for you that you have available to use, okay? For the list to sold price ratio, I did run these in a price point of around 600,000 to 700,000 with this seller in mind, but we're seeing an average of 98.6 list to sold price. That's an important KPI that you as a homeowner need to be watching for if you're looking at selling, because you need to know, okay, if we're priced at this, what's the realistic price that we're going to sell for while we're priced at this? Don't price at a number that you know you absolutely cannot sell beneath when the average is 98.6%. Because if that 1.4% could make or break the bank for you, you need to have a strategy in play, because that's the average that we're seeing. So you better have something else that's going to make the home sales faster, because the faster it sells, the more money it generally sells for. The longer it takes to sell, the less money you end up getting. Why does that work? Because buyers, of course, pull up and go, oh, this house has been for sale for 3 times longer than everybody else. What's wrong with it? When a buyer thinks what's wrong with it, they start thinking, how expensive is that going to be to fix? So be aware of that, okay? Our average days on market for Weatherford are between 30 and 60 right now. That's really not bad. But when you have all these other factors in play, it's because sellers are giving more concessions. It's because sellers are doing bigger price drops. It's because we're having less showings. So the showings we do have are resulting in contracts faster. So I hope this was a little bit helpful insight. I know I'm talking really fast. I'm trying to make the video not super long so the algorithms don't hide it. If you have questions about your particular market or how to interpret something, drop them in the comments. I'm curious to see your thoughts. Have a good one.
I said previously it's a seller's market because it is. It's not time to buy. You're not going to get a good deal. Thing is, are you going to be able to sell? Before, you could sell a bando. You could just sell any type of house. People were buying it just a couple years ago. Nowadays, people are taking their time a little more. They have more inventory, so they have more houses to look over. So you better make sure yours is in top tier condition and the best deal that they can find. You might even have to underprice the house for the area. If the area is going for 400,000, you might have to sell that house for 300, 350. Give people a deal. Give them a break. Give them incentive that'll make them be like, you know what? I want to buy this. Other than that, it might be a little steep right now. People are pinching their pennies and people are not ready to spend on what they cannot afford. People are scared right now. The future is very uncertain. The dollar is on verge of collapse. The economy is on verge of collapse. The government is about to collapse every couple of months. I don't think it's the time. But I think the world also is seeing it's not the time. Things have changed. Just so quickly, things can change. Let me know what you think about this video, family. The Texas housing market is in crisis mode. I would love to hear your thoughts and your opinions. All right, I appreciate you. Peace. And to my Hebrew family, shalom. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one.